Hello. So it's been a little while since I've recorded a video, but I had somebody ask a question about um, how to help basically with intermittent incontinence. So, when you cough and sneeze, a little bit of pee that comes out. Um, so, the resounding response was Kegel exercises, which those are really helpful, but they're actually not the full picture. So I wanted to show you a yoga pose that you can do, and I'm going to model it two ways, first on the floor and then on a chair, based on your accessibility needs. You can do it either way. So first, you want to have a blanket, and I've got your standard yoga blanket here, of course. So what you want to do is make sure that when you fold it, Phoebe's coming to assist. No, baby girl, I don't need your help. It's Wednesday, y'all. Okay, well, she's clearly the star of the show, so we'll just go with it for a moment. So you want to make sure that when you fold your blanket, you don't want any like ripples or rumples in it. So I'm going to pull this. I'm sorry, baby girl. Okay. So I'm folding it in thirds. So I just want to make sure it's a nice clean fold. All right. So I did it that way. Now I'm going to fold it in half. All right, so the goal is you want to have this, you want to have it like pretty thick, but you want to have like kind of a point here. If you happen to have like a really thick, meditation cushion or something that has a really strong corner like this, that's great. Use that. You don't have to wrangle with trying to fold a blanket while your dog is trying to get attention as well. Or your kids, for that matter. So, next thing. Where this is going to go, we're going to target your perineum. So the perineum is, I'm not going to say the other reference, but basically it's the space between the vaginal opening and the anus. So it's that area. There's a little triangular muscle basically inside that if you work on that, you can actually help to make all of your low abdominal muscles stronger. And then it helps with controlling those little pee incidents. So what you want to do is, I have to turn around. I'm so out of practice with recording videos. So just bear with me. So what you want to do, and my dear, I just need you to not be in front of the camera. So if it's possible for you to sit on the floor, this is great. And if it's not possible for you, no biggie. I will show you an alternative here in a moment. She is cracking me up right now. So what you want to do is you want to scooch so that you are feeling that pressure. Right where it's supposed to be, which is, between the vaginal opening and the anus. So, for me, because I have some thickness here in my legs, I'm sitting a little bit forward, like my pelvis is tilting just a little bit forward so that I am feeling that pressure. Now, if you are super flexible, super slender, you might be able to use the heel of your foot to apply this same pressure instead of a blanket. I do not have that kind of flexibility or capability at this point in time. So I use a blanket. No big deal. All right, so you want to sit in a cross-legged position if you can. So I'm going to roll my thigh fat out of the way so that I'm keeping my knees safe and aligned. If you can't do this, don't worry about it. We'll go with the chair. All right. So, and again, I'm sitting a little bit like my back is straight, so your back should be straight, but you can feel the pressure, and it's not at all uncomfortable. It just feels a little weird, I guess. If you're not used to it, which you're probably not, it feels a little bit weird. So what you want to do once you are in this pose is just take a breath and just kind of settle in. You can kind of make sure your position is right. You're going to know when it's right because it's like, oh, this is kind of weird. I don't think I've ever done this before. So just think about the positioning. So you know your body, and just trust that you're going to get this right because you will. So my back is straight, but my overall body is positioned a little bit forward, if that makes sense. So no slumping. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, but back. Okay? So I'm just breathing. So this alone actually really activates the perineum. Now, let's take it up a notch because this is really where the help is going to come in and where you're going to really gain some benefit. What I want you to do is we're going to breathe in, not sharply, but with some strength. So kind of like that. Okay? And when we do that, we're going to contract muscles. So the muscles that we're going to think about contracting are, there's not really a super delicate way to say this, at least not for me. So I'm just going to say it. Like you're trying to hold in a fart, like when you like really contract your sphincter, like you're really trying to hold in a fart, or like hold in, poop, whatever. So so that's part of it. But also at the same time, like you're trying to hold in urine. So we're activating like a group of muscles together. Okay. So we do all of that when we breathe in that strong breath in. So let's just give it a try. Okay. And so once we get the breath in, we're going to hold it for just a few seconds. And then when we release the breath, that's when we release those contracted muscles as well and we relax them. Okay? So let's just give it a try. Okay, here we go. And hold. And release. So when you release the breath, you release it slowly and you release the muscles slowly as well. So this takes a lot of practice to really feel like, I think I'm getting this. I think I'm getting it right. But you're not going to mess anything up if you think you're not doing it correctly. Okay. It's not a problem. So just give it a try. See what you think. I'm going to model it again for you. And so again, think about contracting the sphincter muscles like you're trying to hold in a fart that really wants to come out. And also you're trying to hold in urine that really wants to come out. Okay? All right. So we're going to do it again. I'm like, I could just keep saying more words, but we're just going to do it again. All right. Okay. Okay, if you feel a little lightheaded, like I do right now, that's perfectly okay. So I think you'll find that it's fine. It's not uncomfortable to sit with this position for a few minutes. But any longer than like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, 5 minutes probably, longer than 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, this is not comfortable. So just start with small increments, and you can work your way up. But you should not need to do this for long periods of time. This is something you can do quickly. You can do it multiple times a day, and you will start to definitely appreciate some positive results. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do is show you in a chair if being on a floor or on a hard flat surface is not accessible for you. Okay. So let me just do that real quick. I was going to stop the recording, but I'm like, screw it. You guys have already seen me in all my awkward glory, so why not just keep it going? So the principle is the same, okay? Just make sure that the tip of the blanket is at the edge of the chair, okay? All right. So this is the exact same concept. My head is probably chopped off. I don't care. You guys don't care either, right? But just keep your feet flat on the floor and keep your ankles directly under your knees. Have your legs being about shoulder width. They can actually be a little bit wider, but shoulder width is fine. And we just do the same thing. So make sure your back is straight, your shoulders are down, but back and relaxed. Okay, no tension. We've already got enough tension in our bodies. We don't need to add more on purpose, right? Okay, so same concept, right? So I'm going to do it, just model it here in the chair for you one time. Okay. Okay, I really hope that helps. You might have noticed I was counting. I was holding my breath for a count of 8. There's no magic number for that. It's just however long feels like something that you can do. Okay, if it's 4 counts, if it's 12 counts, whatever works for you is totally fine. So I hope this helps. I hope that you get some positive results very soon. Let me know.